Sonic Generation, let's get into it. I can't even lie to say that Sonic Generation definitely deserves its title as being the great Sonic game. Shoot, even most people saying that this game is one of the greatest Sonic games of all time, and I can't blame them. This game got so much fan service for anybody who grew up with Sonic. This game is definitely a well-deserved celebration for Sonic the Hedgehog, man. Like, every previous level from every old Sonic game appears in this game, and I'm talking about from the classic era to the adventure titles. The ability to play with both versions of Sonic is dope as heck. To start off with modern Sonic, his gameplay and level design is so exhilarating. It's so satisfying to press that boost button and allowing yourself to platform in the game, man. It's so freaking satisfying. His gameplay definitely emphasizes on reaction. Like in a split second, you have to decide on which platform do you want to go to make your time go easier. Not making it easier, but destroying your time a little bit and go to a new route that you've never been through. Like literally, it feels like you have a split of a millisecond to literally react to which platform you need to go to or to avoid obstacles. And the freaking mechanics that go along with the gameplay. Of course you got the boost, the stomp and the drift, from the previous boost games. And they finally nerfed the air chicks. It's way better than what it was in freaking Sonic Unleashed. All you have to do is just like press the buttons really fast to do like a quick time event. And if you fail the quick time event, you'll die. Falling through your demise. Rest in peace. And they finally brought back the light speed dash, and it actually controls really well. But you only have to use it when it comes to like certain levels. But that's cool though. It's still cool. But honestly, I'm going to have to praise the boost games for the light speed dash for actually making it work, because in most games it don't really work and it's really janky. Even in Frontiers, it's really janky. We got Modern Sonic out the way. Let's talk about that homeboy classic. And yes sir, classic Sonic. Let's go. I can't even lie, everybody missed playing with classic Sonic. I can't say that for me because I just got the game like somewhere like a few months ago. I can't even lie. At this point, the only few games that was close to the classic games was the Advance Trilogy, or you had to play the classic games on mobile. And they still ain't put Sonic 3 and Knuckles on mobile, but yet later years they put Sonic Mania. Ain't that crazy? But oh my goodness, having classic Sonic in here, boy, that was a good change. Sega Team remixing classic and modern levels just to fit for the classic Sonic. Boy, they cooked. This time the levels will be having the still 3D perspective and also be having the same mistakes for the original level. Boy, that was fast as fudge. A-Train can't even talk as fast as I can. Repeat that again. This time the level will be having the still 3D perspective and also be having the same mistakes for the original levels. You won't even have to look just from the 2D side of things. You can be looking from the pseudo 3D stuff as well, man. That's really cool. Definitely taking out cues from Klonoa and Kirby 64. And whew, boy, the spin dash, man. The spin dash in this game is OP as fudge. Instead of repeatedly pressing the jump button, Yotel is literally just holding X. Just literally hold one button and then boom. 0 to 100 real fast. That boy moving. That boy speeding his mug is OP as fudge. And the boss fights in this mug is real cool too. There's so many villains and rivals that you fight in this game. It's really dope. For Classic Sonic, you gotta fight with that homeboy Mel Sonic. And you gotta fight the Death Egg. And for Modern Sonic, you gotta fight the Egg Dragoon. You gotta fight Perfect Chaos, Shadow, and Silver. Honestly, I do like the Sonic CD version of this fight, mainly because you just race to the end while you just avoid Metal Sonic while you avoid obstacles in the process. But instead, he does the maximum overdrive for a little bit, then he throws freaking pillars at you, and then you easily just stomp, and then you avoid his other moves, and yeah, there ain't really nothing to this fight. But honestly, I wish they had mixed it, like combined the two together. That would have been cool, but it's still great too. I like the Death Egg this time around. There's a lot more to do this time around. Once you get done with this first part from hitting it from the back.
This is a family channel. Behave yourself.
The second part of the fight starts and you have to bait Eggman and hitting his bombs, and then you have to jump on his head. I like how I got more to it, but it's just so easy. It ain't as difficult as the other one. In Sonic 2, you had to box the Death Egg robot with no rings. But yeah, at the same time, it was kind of difficult to choreograph the Death Egg moveset. Well, not really, but it was really hard though. This fight is okay. It's okay, I guess. And Perfect Chaos with Modern Sonic is just, oh my god, bro. It's just, my god, man, this is perfect. With the original fight in Sonic Adventure was really cool, but it was just too short. All you had to do was just run up to it and then skablam. This time around, you platform it in a mix of hitting him. But honestly, man, this boss fight was fun as heck. I like the Egg Dragoon fight. It was really cool too. You'll have to jump out to a dash ramp and do some rail grinding. You'll have to dodge his missiles, and occasionally avoid his ice projectiles on 3D and 2D, doing some occasional wall jumping, and then later on you're in the dive section. This fight was cool. It was definitely keeping you on your toes. Y'all let me know if y'all like this version of the fight more than Unleashed and vice versa. Because I had Sonic Unleashed and I played it for a little bit, but I stopped playing because you had to collect the stupid Sun and Moon tokens. And honestly killed my drive with even completing the game, so y'all let me know how it is. Over here I have to fight off with a freaking knockoff Kratos. And the rival fights on here is really freaking dope. I like the rival fight with Shadow. I feel like it's just as good as the one in Sonic Adventure 2, but only slightly better. Because I like how in Sonic Adventure 2 you just gotta race and freaking use the light speed dash while you homing attack, while you just running away from falling platforms. And then Shadow constantly using Chaos Control to keep pace with you. I like this one too because you both use the boost, you can platform and go to different routes while you're fighting with him, and towards the end of the fight you get to throw meteors at him while you're boosting at him. Man, this fight was goated. So this fight was great too. I told you guys in my 5 things I hear about the Sonic fanbase video that I've never played Sonic 06, but you guys should totally watch that video though. And then when I seen other people do the boss fight, it was not interesting. It honestly looked like nothing. You fight him in Soliana, it just looked really boring, you know? Yeah. Well, in this time, you fighting him in Crisis City. He throws debris at you and you have to sidestep. You have to do a chain homing attack when you got cars set up in the air. You have to avoid air and ground psychic attacks. You ram cards at you in a 2D section, you have to get close enough to homing attack them. Then you have to sidestep debris above you while you're moving forward. This fight is way better, man. It don't look like nothing. It looks like something. I can't even lie. Now I finally understand why they snapped with his 25th anniversary at the time. It was well deserved. This is a whole amalgamation of Sonic's history and how everybody who grew up with the character enjoys it. When I heard about this game, I was young as heck, and I played the demo. And I was disappointed that I gotta play it now. But hey, at least I played it now, and at least I'm doing this review. And speaking of disappointments, I gotta talk about the bad stuff about this game. Honestly, this game is a great Sonic game, but I just feel like it's too overrated. Like for classic Sonic, he controls really weird. He controls really stiff in the air. You don't really feel as accurate as he did in the classic games. And I did say the spin dash is overpowered in this game, but that's kind of the problem. It's too overpowered. It kind of undermines the freaking physics of Sonic. And having it being on the X button, and not only that, just instead you repeatedly pressing the button, you gotta hold it. It's another variation of mid. It's another variation of the boost. The boost is not really that mid, but it's not as good as rolling around to speed of sound. And speaking of which, man, the momentum in here is garbage. I mean, it's not as bad as how later games treat the momentum, but it's just not that good. It's like Sonic Team has a hard time trying to depict his momentum speed with classic. Like in this game, you have the momentum that's okay at best. And then when he plays as him in Mania, he actually plays like he should be played as. But then in Forces, when he plays like complete utter trash, complete utter doo-doo. But then in Superstars, I did not just say that, I meant Superstars. But then in Superstars, it's just okay. But the way that the levels are designed in this game, I can honestly just try to ignore it, I guess. It's not as good as the originals, but I can ignore it. The level design is just really great in this game. But for Modern Sonic, I honestly wish that his jumping was more accurate too, but that's pretty much all the control complaint that I got. And the difficulty in this game is just completely horrible. Like, this game is so freaking easy, man. Because literally when you mess up or even die to a certain extent, you still get an S or an A rank. It's like when the level design is somewhat difficult, and then still you just get an S or an A rank. Honestly, I hope they get that mode patched up in Sonic X Shadow. And then for the levels, I don't quite like Planet Wisp. I have the original Sonic Colors for the Wii. And in that game, you literally have the balance of the grass theme and then the factory theme. But then in this game, the grass part is really cool, but until you get to the factory part. It's really lame, and throughout the whole level, you're stuck in the 2D sections. And then one 3D part of the level when you have to sidestep through it. And then this level have the slowest platforms, man. Oh my god, this level is so slow and it's so freaking boring. Even when you boost on the platforms, it's boring. It's just, god, it's so slow. And there's barely any enemy placing. Honestly, this level definitely suits the classic one better, because you do a lot of platforming, but it's actually fun. The level definitely works in Sonic Colors because it was literally designed for that version of Sonic. It was designed for literally how he plays in that game. I do like the City Escape level in this version too, but it just felt kinda short. It's not bad at all, and I'm not saying it's terrible, but I just wish it had a bit more to it. The story is kinda bad in this game. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like simple stories when it comes to games like these, but Sonic Colors and Sonic Dream Team actually has something going on with the story. Like, I like the references out the wazoo in this game, but Sonic Frontiers actually does it better. But that game honestly do a little too much with the references. Like, the time meter is cool, I mean the design is cool, and then it collecting your friends stuck in time, and then having to go back to previous locations for Sonic's past, and then just to find out it was Eggman and his younger self piloting the time eater. Well, that's pretty much it. Because there's barely interactions from the characters that you rescue. I honestly want to hear the Sonics talking to one another instead of Sonic just talking to Sonic. Like, I wish they had Jaleel White in here at the very least, Even though I do know why that they didn't want Sonic to have a voice, because they wanted to see the classic side of things. But it was only just one Sonic and yet two Tails is talking. It ain't really no fan service. But they had two versions of the same characters, but I honestly want to hear like more towards it. Like I wanted to hear their general reaction towards Eggman and to the previous boss they've been encountering. I wanted to hear more about their reaction of the rings and all the other stuff. But the closest things to reference that we get in this game is literally the storybook titles. I mean, I get why, so they can tell the fans that those games are canon, but I wanted to hear a lot more. Then that one part of Chemical Plant got me flying down to the piss of my demise, but then when it's off FPS boost, it works. I highly doubt that mug is ever gonna get patched. And then the final boss, oh my god, the Time Sweeper, bro, it sucks. Like the character swapping is so freaking janky, man. You have to swap between the 3D and the 2D side. It's so freaking janky to the point though on which side you'll freaking switch to, like the camera will stop in a weird specific angle and it's so weird. And then you can't really tell on which side is better or which side is more good, and I'm like, bro, this is terrible. I was mostly stuck with the 3D side, but I was wondering if I was losing so many rings that I had to switch to the 2D side, and I was cooked on both sides. And then the background characters won't shut the heck up about a freaking homing shot.
Homing shot! Looks like a homing shot! That looks like a homing shot! That looks like a homing shot! That looks like a homing shot!
I get it!
I can't even lie, the remixes in some of these levels are really solid. I like both versions of Green Hill. I like classic Sonic version of Chemical Plant. I like both versions of Sky Sanctuary. Pretty much I like the specific remixes and the specific gameplays. So here's like my list on the screen if y'all haven't really known. If y'all don't know. Oh yeah, once you finally beat the game, for classic Sonic you earn this homing attack. I mean, it's cool that like they got variety in here I guess, but I don't really use it because it kind of takes away the classic side of things. And plus it kind of reminds me of Sonic 4. But man, that's all I gotta say, man. Like, I feel like this game is really great. It's a bit overrated, but it's not terrible at all. It's not terrible at the slightest. It got some of its hiccups, but overall it's still good. I appreciate y'all for watching and liking all my videos, man. Subscribing to me, man. That means y'all enjoy some of my content, man. And I promise I'll be really consistent when it comes to my stuff, man. I mean, I got like a few projects coming through the way. Like I got a new Battletoads and a Ninja Turtle movie review coming through. So y'all need to stay tuned for that, man. And then the only way that y'all need to stay tuned is by liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos, man. Just hit the notification bell. I really appreciate all of you guys, man. It's just, man, I can't believe like I have 122 subscribers.